advertisers of this program, nor does he receive any form of remuneration from them when considering and registered security products. Seek a prospectus for more complete information, including charges and expenses. Please read the prospectus carefully before you invest. Make sure you consult your financial professional about your particular situation. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Woodbury Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC, and registered investment advisor. 2645 Highway Avenue in Highland, Indiana, 46322, 219-838-6176. Matthew Baker and Woodbury Financial Services Incorporated are not affiliated entities.
This time on Financial Perspectives, we'll have a slight review of what happened financially in 2016. We'll talk about the outlook for 2017. Also, it's tax time again. I'll give you some ideas on some tax moves and some tips. Social Security's going paperless again. I'll talk to you about how that's going to affect you. In January, what makes January a little bit different? More people file for divorce in January than any other month. We'll talk about adjusting to life after a divorce. All this and more right here, right now. This is Financial Perspectives.
Financial Perspectives on WJOB. Come get your perspective from Matt Baker. The Financial Perspectives, WJOB. Get your perspective with Matt Baker.
Streaming worldwide and broadcast from the Purdue University Commercialization Center on 1230 AM WJOB and 104.7. This is Financial Perspectives, the region's business and financial news show. Happy New Year, everybody. It's my first show of the year. Of course, we're here the second and fourth Thursday of every month. But I was on vacation, so we're kind of getting caught up here a little bit. Quarterly economic update and what happened in 2016. For many investors, 2016, and it was a year of surprises not only for investors, but for financial advisors, because 2016 was a year of surprises. When viewing the results of equity returns in 2016, they do not reflect the wild ride that the stock and bond market had. In the final quarter of the year, for example, stocks surged, continuing the bull market that is now almost 8 years old. The Donald Trump victory as the president had the investing community thinking about lower taxes, less regulation, pro-business initiatives, and what could be a bumpy ride to unwinding many of Obama's administration's policies. However, since November 8th, the stock, and that's, of course, Election Day, the stock and bond market has had large moves. The stock market finished strong after November and December. Post-election results sent equities higher and higher almost every day. For some analysts, it seems like the late gains of 2016 were so strong that they may have eaten up some of the gains that were going to be in 2017, even if many of the policies and earnings recoveries do come about. 2016, how quickly we forget. We started out the year very poorly. The federal forecast, was for several tax hikes last year that did not happen. The Brexit made things kind of look dire. And all in all, it wasn't a very eventful year until the election. And in the election, since then, the markets have been going up and up. So what does that mean for 2017? Well, due in part to recent gains, investors need to be watchful of the current valuations of equities. The year 2017 starts with the S&P trading at 19 times last year's earnings. Based on historical results, this is considered ambitious but not ridiculous. Recent corporate earnings have shown slight growth after a year of shrinking, and energy stocks are still not near their all-time highs. All eyes are on interest rates this year. In 2016, in December, the Fed finally penciled in some rate hikes. Many are thinking that we're going to have 3 rate hikes. Some are thinking a couple. Bottom line, I think we're going to see rate hikes. That's for sure. So what are the key points? Well, 2016 was a year of surprises. Since the election, November 8th election, equity markets have risen. Many foreign countries still have interest rates at or near zero. Analysts are expecting low but positive results for 2017. Investors need to be watchful of interest rate increases in 2017. Global issues could potentially create challenges in 2017. Volatility is expected in 2017, and investors should be cautious. Investors need to focus on their own situations and objectives. Absolutely is one of the key things. We talk about the markets in general. Well, what is your financial situation? What is your risk tolerance? What is your time horizon? So you have to focus on your own situations and objectives. One of the things that we do at Matthew Baker Incorporated, and by the way, a lot of the news that I'm reporting here this morning is directly from my quarterly economic update that goes to everybody on my mailing list. If you'd like to be on my mailing list, give me an email. It's Matthew Baker at MatthewBakerInc.com, and I'll be happy to put you on the mailing list. Some of the things that we offer are consistent and strong communication, a schedule of regular client meetings, and continuing education for every member of our team that affects our clients. That is for sure. We're speaking of continuing education. Jessica and I will be taking more courses and classes throughout the year because you have to keep up on this business. You also have to keep up on your taxes. Let's take a look at some of the issues regarding 2016 taxes and its effect on capital gains. If you made less than, if you're single and you made less than $37,650, or married filing jointly and you made less than $75,300, you don't have to worry about capital gains and qualified dividends. It does start kicking in when your income gets higher. For example, if you're married filing jointly and you make $152,000, you could be looking at capital gains and long-term capital gains and qualified dividend tax of 15%, and that goes up higher as your bracket gets a little bit higher. Have you considered all your savings options for 2016? Now, even though it's 2017, some of these instruments you have till tax day, which is, I believe, the 17th of April this year, to contribute to your IRAs from last year. Also, be aware of some of the things that were taking place last year. Last year showed us higher 401k contribution limits. And that also includes 403b and 457 plans. So you can, for example, if you're in a federal thrift savings plan or a 401k, you got to put $18,000 in and another $6,000 if you're over 50. Now those contributions had to have been made at that time, but you should adjust for your 2017 numbers as well. Roth IRA income cutoffs. Be aware that if your adjusted gross income is over 184, it's going to start getting phased out. You should talk to your financial planner about whether this is going to be advantageous to you or not. Things to review before you get your taxes done. Take a look at, guesstimate your tax rates. Review your retirement savings. Consider Roth IRA conversions. That's where you pay your taxes on your IRA and then you convert it to a tax-free account. It's called a Roth conversion, and you don't have to pay any taxes on any gains. Review your capital losses and gains. Check to see if your Social Security is taxable. That's a very common one as far as, is your Social Security taxable? And the answer is maybe. If you are, looking at your Social Security, it's all going to depend on your income. If you're making over $25,000 and you're single, that could be up to 85% taxable. Married filing jointly, $32,000 is the cutoff. You're making more than $32,000 and you have additional income, Social Security can be up to 85% taxable. So that's something that you should be looking at that may or may not affect you for that particular tax year. What else do we got here? Maximize your charitable contributions. Hope you did that last year. Consider bunching your deductions. Determine if your 2016 and 2017 income will change dramatically. If you believe it is, you should talk to your tax accountant. Review your tax strategies with your financial planner as well as your tax preparer. And that's one of the reasons why we have a team approach at Matthew Baker Incorporated. We have an estate planning attorney, a certified public accountant that I team up with, and we will definitely review your tax strategies, make sure that you're avoiding as much taxes as possible. We're going to go to a quick commercial. When we come back, I'm going to talk about some outrageous tax facts that are kind of funny, actually. We'll be right back after a quick commercial. Here we go.
Do you have a financial strategy? If so, is it taking you where you want it to go? If not, our complimentary second opinion can help you get on the road to financial security. Our one-on-one approach to our clients' needs and wants can make that happen with a synergistic plan to grow and secure your assets. Call Matthew Baker Incorporated to set up your personalized financial review at 219-838-6176. If you feel after our meeting that we cannot greatly improve your financial situation, we won't take you as a new client. Have any estate planning needs? Need a will? A trust? Questions about revocable or irrevocable trusts? Land trust? Then call the law offices of Joseph Haddad. Attorney Joseph Haddad has been practicing law since 1986. He is located at 2646 Highway Avenue in beautiful downtown Highland. Call Attorney Haddad's office at 219-923-3000 to set up your free initial consultation to discuss your estate planning needs today.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Financial Perspectives. Fun tax facts. Well, crazy stuff. Back in 1784, England introduced a tax on hats. To avoid the tax, hat makers stopped calling their creation hats, leading to a tax on any headgear. You think it's bad in Chicago. How would you like to be in England in about 1804? The tax was repealed about 10 years later. Also, if you live in New Mexico or know somebody that does, and they're over 100 years old, they're tax exempt, but only if they are not used as dependents on someone's tax return. Before we get into our next segment, I wanted to inform a lot of people that, a lot of times people will come in and they're looking for their Social Security statements. Well, Social Security's changing back again. Remember back in the day, they would send you something every year around your birthday, let you know what your Social Security benefits were. But now, the Social Security Administration announced it will stop mailing estimated benefit statements to most American workers in a move that is expected to save the government $11 million. So what does that mean? That means you're going to have to go online and get your own statement. And I recommend that you do that as part of your annual financial review. You should be bringing that in every year when you sit with your financial planner so that we can monitor Social Security. So once again, if you're waiting for a statement from Social Security, you're going to be waiting a long time. You're going to have to go ahead and get it online yourself. One of the things that happens every January more than any other month is divorce. People will be going in and filing for divorce. So what do you do, when you're going to go ahead and you're facing a divorce? I'm going to have a special segment here, Women's Financial Corner, and then I'm going to give you some other things to kind of focus in if you know somebody that may be going through a divorce or is near a divorce. I think you're going to benefit by this. So here it is, Adjusting to Divorce.
Adjusting to life financially after a divorce. Part 1. There's no doubt about it. Going through a divorce can be an emotionally trying time. In addition to the emotional impact of a divorce, there is the financial impact it will have on your life. There are certain things you can do to protect your financial situation. You'll need to get a handle of your finances, taking into account the likely loss of your former spouse's income. Here are some ways to assess your current financial situation. Establish a budget that reflects your current monthly income and expenses. In addition to your regular salary and wages, be sure to include other types of income, such as dividends, interest, and possibly child support. Divide expenses into two categories: fixed, things like housing, food, and transportation, and discretionary, things like entertainment, vacations, etc. You may have to cut back on discretionary spending until you adjust to living on less income. Your next step is to reevaluate and reprioritize your financial goals. Start by making a list of the things that you want to achieve. Do you want to put more money toward retirement, toward going back to school, or toward saving for a new home? You may realize your financial goals have changed after the divorce. While you're adjusting to your new budget, you will need to take control of your debt and credit. Keep track of balances and interest rates. Develop a plan to manage payments and avoid late fees. Pay off high-interest debt first. Take advantage of debt consolidation and refinancing options. You will need to protect or establish your own credit. Review your credit report yearly at annualcreditreport.com. After a divorce, you'll want to change the beneficiary designations on any insurance policies, retirement accounts, and bank or credit union accounts you have in place. Keep in mind, some divorce settlements may require that you keep your spouse as a beneficiary. Next time on Women's Financial Corner, we will discuss your changing insurance needs and tax implications.
And that's Women's Financial Corner. We're going to have more about adjusting to life as going through a divorce after a couple quick commercials.
Do you have a financial strategy? If so, is it taking you where you want it to go? If not, our complimentary second opinion can help you get on the road to financial security. Our one-on-one approach to our clients' needs and wants can make that happen with our synergistic plan to grow and secure your assets. Call Matthew Baker, Inc. to set up your personalized financial review at 219-838-6176. If you feel after our meeting that we cannot greatly improve your financial situation, we won't take you as a new client.
Have any estate planning needs? Need a will? A trust? Questions about revocable or irrevocable trusts? Land trust? Then call the law offices of Joseph Haddad. Attorney Joseph Haddad has been practicing law since 1986. He is located at 2646 Highway Avenue in beautiful downtown Highland. Call Attorney Haddad's office at 219-923-3000 to set up your free initial consultation to discuss your estate planning needs today.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Financial Perspectives. We're talking about adjusting to life after a divorce. Any questions? 219-845-1100. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So what are some of the issues? Well, if you know someone that's going through a divorce, if you're going through a divorce, assess your financial situation. Following a divorce, you'll need to get a handle on your finances and assess your current financial situation. Ultimately, you may come to the realization that you are no longer able to live the similar lifestyle that you were accustomed to before the divorce. As the audio said of Women's Financial Corner, establish a budget. Also, reevaluate and that's a tongue twister. Reprioritize your financial goals. Your next step should be to reevaluate your financial goals. While you were married, you may have set certain financial goals with your spouse. Now that you're on your own, these goals may have to be changed, starting out by making a list of the things that you know you would like to achieve. Do you need to put more money towards retirement? Are you interested in going back to school? What would you like to save for a new home? And many, many things that come up after a divorce. Take control of your debt. Keep track of your balances and interest rates. Develop a plan to manage your payments and avoid late fees. Pay off high-interest debt. Take advantage of debt consolidation. Also protect and establish your credit. And most importantly, review your insurance needs. It's often overlooked. Typically, insurance coverage for one or both spouses is neglected as part of a divorce settlement. However, you may have additional insurance needs that go beyond that which you were able to obtain through a divorce settlement. When it comes to health insurance, having adequate coverage a priority. Finally, make sure that your property insurance coverage is updated. Any applicable property insurance may need to be modified. Change your beneficiary designations. After a divorce, you may want to change the beneficiary designations on your insurance policies. Also, consider tax implications. You also need to consider the tax implications of your divorce, your sources of income, filing status, and credits and deductions which you may qualify for may be affected. Your filing status will be changed. And don't forget dependency exemptions. So those are common things that people will have to worry about during a divorce. If you got any questions, feel free to give me a call, 219-844-1230. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Well, let's see. One of the other things that I was looking at an article here in the Wall Street Journal, a milestone. Of course, yesterday the Dow Jones Industrial Average exceeded the 20,000 point mark, meaning that markets are expensive. The thing that matters most for valuing stocks, according to Justin Lahart of the Wall Street Journal, the thing that matters the most for valuing stocks is price, which the Dow Jones Industrial Average pushed over 20,000 mark yesterday. So the price has gotten higher. Say what you will about the ultimate importance of the Dow reaching the big round number, but it certainly got there in a hurry. The 9% the Dow has added since Election Day is the sort of move that is usually reserved for market rebounds after big tumbles, as opposed to when it has already reached the high mark. And of course, I think that is what is peculiar about this. No one saw this coming, and it's kind of unconventional, just like our president is. The S&P now trades at 17 times expected earnings over the next year. And that's higher than when the president got in. So stocks are pretty high. That cyclically adjusted price earning ratio popularized by Robert Shiller, which is based on the average 10-year earnings under generally accepted accounting principles, is at its highest since the 2000s. We come back. One of the things is healthcare. That thing seems to never go away. Talk a little bit about what we pay compared to other countries. I'm going to go to a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Do you have a financial strategy? If so, is it taking you where you want it to go? If not, our complimentary second opinion can help you get on the road to financial security. Our one-on-one approach to our clients' needs and wants can make that happen with a synergistic plan to grow and secure your assets. Call Matthew Baker Incorporated to set up your personalized financial review at 219-838-6176. If you feel after our meeting that we cannot greatly improve your financial situation, we won't take you as a new client. Have any estate planning needs? Need a will? A trust? Questions about revocable or irrevocable trusts? Land trust? Then call the law offices of Joseph Haddad. Attorney Joseph Haddad has been practicing law since 1986. He is located at 2646 Highway Avenue in beautiful downtown Highland. Call Attorney Haddad's office at 219-923-3000 to set up your free initial consultation to discuss your estate planning needs today.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Financial Perspectives, our first show in 2017. The line is now open, 219-845-1100. And let's take a call. Good morning. You're on Financial Perspectives.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. I have a question about taxes, kind of about divorce, too, but I'm obviously not calling from a female perspective. But
that's okay.
In 2016, in June, around the 1st of June, my wife, I guess she's still my wife at the time, moved out of a house and kind of is just gone in the wind. No forwarding address, no information, things like that. So I'm obviously not getting her data for tax, filing stuff. So I'm kind of in a quandary how to file my taxes without her information or cooperation.
Okay, well, let me ask you a couple questions. Are you legally married now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you have any children at home?
No.
Okay. Well, you can still file your taxes. You're just going to be, you're not going to be filing, you're going to be filing married separately. So you still can file your taxes. Don't forget,
Oh, okay.
if something changes down the road, you could always amend the taxes if for whatever reason. For all I know, you may communicate with your wife later and decide that, hey, because it'd probably be a little bit more beneficial filing jointly.
Exactly, and that's and for the last several years when we filed, things have been so contentious that she would refuse to file that way. I think because she's got a number of children that her and her ex-husband are responsible for,
Mm-hmm.
and she was doing some funny stuff there. So by doing that, though, by filing married, filing separately, it would increase my taxes, really, really high. I pay.
Well, temporarily, because let's just, there's two things that are going to happen. You're either going to reconcile or you're going to get divorced. And if you're going to go ahead and get divorced, there may be some legal changes as to who's taking. Do you have any children with her?
No, I don't have any. I have one son who's grown and in the Navy, but she's got a few minor children. So.
Okay, and pretty much she has just left. You haven't talked with her?
No, she moved and no communication, no address, and of course I don't have any access to her.
Have you spoken to an attorney?
I guess it's about time to probably do that.
Well, I'm going to tell you why it's about time. Because first of all, if you're legally married, you're jointly responsible for liabilities. So let's just say, for example, she went ahead and left and started living off credit cards. Well, guess what? You're going to be responsible for that. And the first thing that your attorney is going to do is make it so that you're not responsible for any further debts. But I would not wait any longer to do that. How long have you been married?
About 3 years.
Okay, so it's not a very long where you have other asset splitting issues since it's only been 3 years. But I would highly recommend that you immediately go talk to a divorce attorney and make sure that you're no longer responsible, for her debts.
Right, for future debts.
And then, all depending on what the issues are, it's hard to do that in just a couple of minutes. But if it's just a simple, sounds to me it'd probably be a simple divorce, or there wouldn't be a lot of issues where you can probably do that. I just want to pause and say a lot of times people will be married for a long time, and oftentimes they go ahead, she gets an attorney, he gets an attorney, when a lot of times you can get a mediator to do it in a more equitable, less vicious manner. Also, there's certified divorce.
I think at this point in time, I don't think she would agree to anything. Anything would have to be forced upon, and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, every situation's different.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different when you have small children. I always try to recommend mediation, because after the divorce is over with, you have to have the parents are going to have the relationship with the kids, and well, it's not their fault that things didn't work out in the relationship, and that would be the best way of going. But my suggestion is to seek legal counsel right away.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Any other questions? 219-845-1100. Let me kind of hang up on that here. One of the things that we seem to be dealing with financially every year is healthcare. And every year it's getting more and more appalling. I can't tell you. The average U.S. healthcare expense is $9,451. Now let's see who pays the most. They had a nice article here in the Wall Street Journal analyzing some expenses. Now, if you have rheumatoid arthritis and you need a 28-day supply, and this is developed and sold by AbbVie, which is spun off by Abbott Laboratories, you're paying $2,600 in the United States. If you live in Switzerland, it's $800. I don't know what's up with that, folks, but there's something up with that. If you have hepatitis C and you need a 4-week supply, you don't even want to know. It's $32,000 in the U.S. It's $16,000 in Switzerland. Here's something that's common: OxyContin 30-day supply, $265 in the United States. It's $36 in Spain. MRI diagnostics, $11.19 in the United States, while the UK pays $7.88. CT scan, we're not the most expensive. This is the only category. The UK is the most expensive at $860. We're at $844. Go to Switzerland, $383. Colonoscopy in the United Kingdom, it's $3,000. Here it's $1,301. Finally, we're doing something right with that. But Switzerland's half that cost, more than half less. Procedures, normal baby delivery. In Spain, it's $1,950. In the United States, it's $10,808. Knee replacement surgery. In Spain, it's $6,687. In the United States, it's $28,184. Heart bypass surgery. In the United States, $78,000. $78,318 to be exact. In Spain, $14,000. Don't know what's going on with the health care, but they need to be doing something. Of course, I think Obamacare is history. What they're going to come up with, I don't know. I think the one thing this is just a perfect example. Whether you're with Obamacare or they're coming back with something else, my first question would be, why is it so much cheaper in other countries than in the United States? And, of course, the pharmaceutical companies are extremely strong and have a lot to do with this. And hopefully we're going to get to the bottom of this. Bottom line, we continue to get gouged by these pharmaceutical companies, and it's based not only on with drugs, with diagnostics, and procedures. Just want to say thanks to everybody for listening. We're going to be here 2 weeks from today, and it's going to be Thursday at 9:05. Tune in. Also, don't forget to check us out online. We have all kinds of educational material right on our website. Go to www.matthewbakerinc.com, and you can research all kinds of articles, whether it's about insurance, estate planning, financial planning. And speaking of estate planning and financial planning, let's start off the year right, folks. Give me a call, 219-845-1100. Let's take a look at your financial strategy. Let's take a look at your estate planning. And let's take a look at what tax strategy you're using. That's 219-838-6176. And Jessica will be there to answer your calls. Thanks, folks, and we'll see you next time.